Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there, pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be entitled Biden Quits, the Left and the Right Deception. Okay, and if you're not living under a rock, if you've been alive for the past 48 hours, 72 hours, you know that Biden has quit, right? He's ran out of the race, and now it's up to Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, as as Judge Joe Brown calls her, right, to win for the Democrats. Now, us that are in the know, us that have the eye solve to see, right, to see what's really happening, we know that this whole left-right paradigm is nothing more than a deception. And neither side is for you so-called blacks, you Latinos, or you Native Americans, and it's really not for the Edomite Americans or any other American, okay? They're for the elites, okay? They're paid, all right? They're puppets, okay? And they're set up to do a job, all right? They're not set up to help you. They're not set up to make things better for you. They're paid actors that know how to speak well, okay? And the one that speaks the best is the one that wins the praise and admiration of the people. Okay, so this individual, Kamala Harris, all right, she's getting ready to replace this man. So now, before I even get into that, let's go into 2 Corinthians 2:11. Let's go there. This is 2 Corinthians 2, verse 11, and it reads, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We understand that this is all a big game, all a big show, right? And there's a lot of deception, a lot of left-hand energy at hand with all these different things and events that are happening, okay? How did that individual get on that roof? Why didn't Secret Service do anything? So on and so forth. There's a lot of questions to be asked about that, but at the end of the day, there's so much deception, we just got to look at the big picture, because there's so much intricate deceptions that are happening. We got to look at the big picture, what we understand according to prophecy that's getting ready to happen. So I'm going to read this. This is what Biden quitting means for Harris, the Democrats, and Trump. It says, Joe Biden has turned the U.S. election on its head after fiercely insisting for weeks that he would remain the Democratic nominee for president. He has bowed to pressure and dropped out of the race. Here's what it means for Vice President Kamala Harris, for the Democrats more broadly, and for Trump and for Donald Trump. Harris is a risk, but one many Democrats will want to take. The prospects for Kamala Harris being the Democratic nominee have received a big boost with Joe Biden's endorsement. He gave her his full backing, calling his decision to make her vice president 4 years ago the best he ever made. She responded by saying she was honored to have his endorsement and would do everything possible to win the nomination. It is possible that most Democrats will follow the president's lead and fall in line behind the vice president to avoid ongoing uncertainty less than a month from the Democratic convention, right? Why? Because they're a bunch of zombies, so they're going to follow wherever they lead them, It says there are practical and political reasons for doing so. She is next in the constitutional line of secession. The optics of passing over the first black woman on a presidential ticket would be terrible for the party. She would also immediately have access to the roughly 100 million in funds the campaign has raised so far. And I want to say this too. Um, she actually is a so-called black woman, from what I understand, right? And I believe she actually is a so-called black woman, specifically from the tribe of Benjamin. And this is an example of the serpent and Eve, man. Eve is at this high level, this high seat, right? And then you got the serpent, right? Joe Biden, Donald Trump, which are Edomites, that are also at in a high position right now. So, you know, not to mention the banking family, so on and so forth. They really have the power, but they set you so-called black women up on a high pedestal as well. Both of you are going down when when this world crumbles. Both of you are gonna fall with it. Okay, he's gonna put you to the side. All right, we're coming to that time where he's about to do away with you. Okay, and then you're gonna be looking for the so-called black man to help you, and the so-called black man is pretty much done with you. Okay, but anyways, I'm gonna show you something, right? Dealing with Kamala Harris, real quick. It's to show you, because I looked up. It used to be hard to find images of her father and things of that nature. It used to be hard to find that, but now it's pretty clear on the internet who her father is. Okay, Donald Harris, which is a Benjamite from Jamaica. Okay, and you see he's a so-called Negroid, right? Because when you used to look up her parents and stuff like that, you would always see the images of her mother, which is a so-called East Indian, right? That's why she has that East Indian coolie type look, right? Because there's a lot of people in the islands with this type of look that are actually Israelites, because their father is a so-called black man, but then their mother may be a so-called East Indian, right? Because the East Indians were sent over there as indentured slaves as well, in these different islands. So so that's why she has the look that she has. But you can see her father clearly is a Jake, right? And examining her, she acts like the end up. And when you see her sister, how her sister acts, she's even less, because she's trying to act like an Edomite because of the position she's in. But her sister clearly is the end up. And we know, obviously, which brothers know this, but there's new people out there. You are who your father is. There's no such thing as someone being mixed. Oh, this person's a mixed race person. There's no such thing as a mixed race person. Okay? You are who your father is. It doesn't matter where your mother comes from. This is Numbers 1:21. It says, 1:20. It says, no, so like, what am I talking about? 1:18. What the hell the heck is going on, man? This is Numbers 1:18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. So the pedigree would be the lineage. Okay, they declared the lineage by what? The house of their father. Like they'll mention a dog as the lineage of a dog, right? They'll say his pedigree. Oh, like in other words, what is he mixed with, right? But they're determining the lineage by the way we determine the lineage through the scriptures is by the father. It's always been like that. Even with these other nations, for the most part, it was pretty much always like that. This was a common thing, right? Say, I'm the son of such and such, the son of such and such, the son of such and such, right? And I recently heard in French, the French word for race is race, right? So they were asking about a particular dog that a man had, and they said, what race is it? Quelle race, right? So I found that interesting. So pedigree, race is the same thing. So your race is determined by the father, okay? It says, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So, so she is, because we used to think, You know, a lot of brothers think, nah, she's a Elamite, so on and so forth. But nah, she's actually a end up. She's actually the end up. See, the end up could possibly become the nah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. You know, I can see them putting DJ Trump in there, but if they want to get these good old boys roused up, they can put her in there. You know, and get rid of Trump some way, right? But we don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do, man. We'll see what they do, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what they do. But the point is this, man. Neither side is for you. These are all puppets, man, that are set up with by the elites. Okay, this is Revelations 13 and 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Right? Now that dragon, right, is coming out now. Okay? That dragon is getting ready to come out now. Especially going into the next presidency, you're gonna see those horns come out because they have to implement the mark. We're coming to that time now. You know, I'm gonna read this again. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." That beast represents the new Roman Empire. Okay, the two horns represent this two-party system: the Democrats, Republicans. Okay. Which we have, any democratic country has those two main parties that are opposing the conservative type party, and then a more liberal, free love type party. You know what I'm saying? With love for the people, acceptance. You have that type of party. Then you have the more conservative, leaning toward the old-fashioned way type party. Okay. Which they're all pushing forward towards the New World Order. They're all pushing forward to the agenda of the elites. Okay? It said, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live." Okay? "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." Now, the image of the beast represents the system, right? So if you're not getting down with the system that's coming, right, you're going to have to be put to death. Okay? You're going to have to be put to death. And it's going to be done, gradually. They're going to shame you, just like they did with the Jews. And then eventually they're going to be threatening you. Okay? It says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark," right? The charagma, "in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." And you should know that the mark is the chip. Okay? The chip they're going to try to implant the people with. This is what's coming. Okay? "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, so this is what's getting ready to come. Regardless of who gets in office, at the end of the day, this is the end goal. This is going to happen. Okay? You see? And Trump was already endorsing, these type of digital IDs and things of that nature. He was endorsing the chip subtly, right? In certain campaigns that he did. Okay, he's nothing but an actor. He's always been an actor. You remember the show The Apprentice? You don't remember that? He's a cult of personality, man. Okay? He's good at it, but he's a cult of personality. Kamalah Harris is not good at it. She can't be as popular as this guy. But guess what? She's playing a role. Okay? They're all playing a role, man. And it's all leading the same place. But eventually, these horns are getting ready. These horns are getting ready to come out real soon. We feel that in the spirit. This is Numbers 12 and 12. It says, Oh, not Numbers 12. I'm talking about Numbers. Revelations 12 and 12. And it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." Right? That same beast, that dragon, right? He knows his time is up, right? These elites, okay, they know their time is up. They know they have to implement this enterprise quickly, but they're not going to be able to finish it, because we know about that in Job, how when they're about to fulfill their belly, the Lord is going to you know uh, 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 cast his fury upon them. He's going to take them down, right? But they're going to get the majority of the world chipped up, and whatever the case may be, right? They're going to be right there, sit down and eat at the table, but bam, that's when the end is going to come for them, man. It says, "And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child." Now the woman is who? The Israelites. Okay. And to the woman were given, well, this is dealing with the Israelites. It's going to something different. It's going into something different. It's going to right. That's just what I wanted. It's right in front of my face. Couldn't see it. Yeah, it says it said, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." Now, who's the remnant of her seed that keeps the commandments? The elect. Okay, the men that believe on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai, right? The men and women, okay, and children, right? Those are the ones that are of the elect. Those are the ones. Those are the remnant of the seed, and they're getting ready to come down with great wrath on them. Okay, on us, Lord willing, we be of that number. You see, they want to eliminate us from their new world, man. The new world that they have in mind, right? So when you see this, this Democrat, this Republican thing, you Jakes lose your mind and think that these people are for you. These people are not for you. That's why the scripture said you have gone from mountain to hill, and you've gone to mountain to hill because you haven't even looked at your true power, man. You haven't even looked for your true power, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, but you're going from mountain, government to government. You trusting in them, So my people hath been lost sheep. This is Jeremiah 15:6. It says, "My people hath been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray." Right, the leaders that you have, okay, these different politicians, these different celebrities, these are your leaders, and they've caused you to go astray because they're in the back pockets of the elites. But don't you understand? They're boule members. They're not for you. Okay, they're for their own gain. That's who they're for. It says they have turned them away on the mountains. What's the mountains? The governments. They've guided them to the governments, to go down a path that is not good. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, which is what? Which is with Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. That's where the resting place is at. So y'all forgot that. Y'all forgot who you are. You see? Don't forget, man, these celebrities have always led you to what? To vote and all these different things. I remember back in the day, they had the whole campaign, Diddy and all these different rappers and celebrities talking about vote or die, vote or die. Kept pushing this voting thing. That's not going to save you, voting. Okay? Voting for who? The scriptures say that we're not supposed to put no person of any other nation over us. And you're damn sure not supposed to have no damn woman over you. Okay? But this is what you people are asking for. This is what you Israelites are asking for. That's complete backwards, man. Even in the New Testament, it says that the woman shall not usurp authority over the man. So you're going to vote for a woman to be over you? Right? Or Edomite man, or any other nation? This is ridiculous, man. This is Isaiah 30:1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked. See, let me read that again. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that take counsel, but not of me. You're not taking counsel of the Lord. You're taking, and if you were to take counsel from the Lord, you'd be asking his men. You'd be asking the prophets that are out there for the counsel, because the Lord speaks through his prophets. Okay, it says, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. No, not of his spirit. Okay, the spirit of Satan ultimately, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt walk to go down into Egypt, which represent what's the modern day Egypt? America. Okay, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. At the end of the day, you that trust in Egypt, you trust in this government, you trust in this system, you're going to be put to shame. It's like those that took the juice and, I regret taking the juice. You can go on TikTok and see countless videos of people talking about how they regret taking the juice. I never should have took the juice. That's like their biggest life regret, because they were following who? They were following the serpent. They were following the serpent. They were following after Egypt and what the media was telling them and pushing down their throat. Okay? And what happened? They succumbed to it, and they're going to succumb to the chip. They're going to succumb to the chip as well, and being completely enslaved by these devils. Okay? And this new what do you call it? Technocracy that's coming. Okay? Yeah, y'all fully trust in the system. Y'all fully trust in the leaders that they present to you, because these leaders are presented to you. Now look at this. This is what the NW is doing, man. The NW is raising
Well, President Joe Biden, who has for days now been battling COVID, announced Sunday that he is ending his re-election bid. The historic announcement sent shockwaves through the political atmosphere. And Biden's decision followed a debate performance that prompted more than 36 Democratic lawmakers to urge him to pull out of the race. The president's change of heart comes 1 month ahead of the Democratic National Convention, which is set to be held in Chicago. Well, now the glaring question is, who will campaign against Donald Trump in the race for the White House? With Election Day about 100 days away, Democrats have to fill this seat quickly. Lacey Beasley joins us now with the path forward specifically for Kamala Harris. Good morning, Lacey.
Yeah, good morning, Madison. There's already signs of momentum for Harris. Overnight, the political group called Win with Black Women held a fundraising call with 40,000 participants. Now,
you ain't gonna win with black woman. I'll tell you that now. You ain't gonna win with black woman. So that name is off to begin with.
As of 1 a.m., they raised more than $1 million for Harris. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett from Dallas was on that call. She endorsed Harris immediately after Biden dropped out of the race. Now, Harris says she intends to both earn and win the nomination. Not only does she have the endorsement of Biden, but also former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and progressive Senator Elizabeth Warren. The DNC.
See, so they raised $1 million, and don't forget, Judge Joe Brown. It said how she got to the top. She got to the top by sleeping her way to the top, by being a harlot. Okay, that's how she got to the top, sleeping with certain 60-year-old politicians or whatever the case may be. That's how she got her way to the top, man. Okay, by being a slut.
The DNC Rules Committee is still set to meet on Wednesday to talk about the nomination process. Co-chairs of the convention announced yesterday they will work on a, quote, open, transparent, fair, and orderly plan. Democrats could still vote for someone else to take the candidacy, though Harris looks to be a front runner. If she wins the nomination, she would be the first black woman and first Asian American to lead the ticket of a major political party. Before becoming vice president, she was a California senator Harris was also vying for the nomination in 2020 before President Biden tapped her as his running mate. And now the party's national convention is set for August 19th through 22nd in Chicago. All 4,000 delegates could vote for anyone they want now that Biden is out. Madison?
Now, one of the questions that we've been asking, and I know you've been digging into it, are there any Texans that are possibilities as potential running mates for Harris?
Well, there are not, Madison. Some top contenders are Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be some news we're following very.
Yeah, well, they weren't selected. They weren't selected. They could have put anyone in that position. What makes them not qualified? And what makes her qualified over them? Okay? Because she used to be dating one of those talk show hosts, right? When she was a nobody, you know, she was his girlfriend. So how the hell and that was in what, the 90s or maybe the early 2000s. And so how was she just push her way up to being a senator and all these different things? At that time, she was just the girlfriend of one of those talk show hosts, one of those Jake talk show hosts. I can't remember his name, right? But now she's the most qualified person to be the president of the United States. Come on, man. Come on, man. We can see right through that, man. Us with the eyesight, we can see right through that, man. She was selected for whatever purpose to be put in this particular position. And we're going to see what happens, man. But things are going to get hot before the end of this year, man. Things are going to definitely get hot before the end of this year. Now, another thing, dealing with this left-right paradigm, right? Which, children are their oppressors and women rule over them, man. That's what this whole thing is about. But now, when you deal with, I was watching this stream with Judge Joe Brown and the woman that's there with him on the stream. She made a mention saying how the Democrats, they were mixing LGBTQ history in with black history. See, because they're trying to merge you Israelites in with sin. They want to make sure that y'all are constantly in the mind state of sin and accepting sin and going into sin. So I don't know what that has to do. The alphabet people have to do with black history, right? But then on the other hand, I'm gonna show you the deception of this whole left-right Democrat Republican thing, right? On the other hand, the Republicans are trying to remove and downplay slavery from the textbooks. So they're trying to say that they came here willingly and that blacks benefited from slavery. Huh? You see? So that I'm gonna read it to you right here, okay? To show you that neither side is for you and they're both about deception. It says Black History class revised in U.S. after criticism from right. Now this is the right wing, right? It says the revised course for high school students rolls back references to racial justice movements and alphabet issues, right? It says the official curriculum for a high school course on African American studies downplays some components that drew criticism from conservatives Salakia in the United States, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who had threatened to ban the class in his state. In the new framework released on Wednesday, topics including the Black Lives Matter movement and queer life are not part of the exam. They are included only on a list of sample project topics that states and school systems can choose from for assignments. Why would that have? Why would this? First of all, this group has nothing to do with anything. This is a made up. This is an Edomite group. This is a so-called white group. Black Lives Matter is a white created group, okay, which really is about this stuff, the alphabet stuff. But what does this have to do with so-called Black history? This stuff. What does this have to do with so-called Black history? You see? So this is all indoctrination. It says the course, which would join a stable of 38 undergraduate university level classes, the advanced placement The advanced placement program offers to high school students is currently being tested at 60 schools around the U.S. The official materials are intended to guide its expansion to hundreds of additional high schools in the next academic year. The College Board, which oversees the AP program, said the course developers consulted with professors from more than 200 colleges, including several historical black institutions. The rejection of the course by DeSantis, a Republican, and they gotta say, hey, he's a Republican. You gotta say he's with the right. He's this and that. They gotta push that out there, man, to show you this is what the Republicans are against, and this is what the left is. So it's just like, if you believe in this part, let's say he's right about that, because he's right about that. This is madness. But then when you go on the other side of what he's saying, he's wrong about certain things that he's saying, and that's deception and wickedness. See, but if you got to be on one side of the fence. No, we're on neither side of the fence, man. It says a Republican has stirred new political debate over how schools teach about race. Okay, so it says DeSantis, a possible Republican presidential candidate in 2024, said he was blocking the course in Florida because it pushes a political agenda. And what's that? The alphabet stuff. Okay, that's the political agenda. Okay. It says, in the state of Florida, our education standards not only don't prevent, but they require teaching black history, all the important things. DeSantis said at a news conference last week, and the reason I'm laughing is because to him, the fact that we went into slavery is not a big part of this thing. The wickedness that Esau did to us, that's not important. Says that's part of our core curriculum. We want education and not indoctrination. Well, and he's right about that when it comes to the alphabet stuff. That's straight up indoctrination. But let's look at what he says on the other side, though. Okay? Come on, man. Get this shit out of here. Oh, boy. Let's see if I can. Let's do this. Back up out of here. Okay, it says DeSantis doubles down on claims that some blacks benefited from slavery. You see? So this is what he's trying to push in the in these curriculums. That black people benefited from slavery. Some blacks benefited from slavery. See, this is what they're trying to highlight in this thing. Say, slavery wasn't even that bad. It was actually a good thing for you guys. Like, like them those racist Edomites to be in a comment board. This is what they're trying to push. Okay, it says GOP presidential candidate draws renewed criticism after suggesting slavery helped African Americans develop skills such as being a blacksmith. As if we weren't blacksmiths back where we were at in West Africa and Portugal and Spain. We come on, man. That's basic. That was basic for all nations to have blacksmiths. You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. So these devils are something else, man. These devils are something else. It says Florida, and this is just as vexing as that alphabet stuff, right? But you'll say, but Jacob, I'm more of the Republicans. You see, because they're not teaching the alphabet stuff, but they're lying and omitting things from history and try to downplay the suffering that your forefathers and you went through. Okay, because you are your forefathers. All right. This is Florida government. Governor Ron DeSantis is intensifying his efforts to de-emphasize racism in his state's public school curriculum. Well, that's a huge part of American history is racism. What are you talking about? By arguing that some black people benefited from being enslaved and defending his state's new African American history standards that civil rights leaders and scholars say misrepresent centuries of U.S. reality. Okay, buddy. The centuries of U.S. reality is grape, slavery, murder, and robbery. That's the history of the United States of America. Okay? Now let's go to this. But you can see how both sides, when you really look at it, neither of them are for you. Okay, and this is what we've been trying to tell you. You need to turn to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai. That's who's for our nation. That's who's going to bring us salvation, not these political parties, man. This is Psalm 73 and verse 8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. That's what Ron DeSantis is doing. He's speaking wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Well, you're going to pay for it. Okay? All Edomites are going to pay for that. Okay? It says they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. Let's get Revelations. Revelations 13 and verse 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. What? Captivity is slavery. He that leadeth into slavery shall go into slavery. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So, well, you can say, you can sugarcoat it however you want to sugarcoat it. The bottom line is all Edomites are going into captivity, really all other nations, but you Edomites are going to get it the worst. Okay? So they could try to sugarcoat all they want, man, you know. But at the end of the day, neither of these sides are for you. This whole left-right deception, you know, needs to be stopped. Okay, and you Jakes don't seem to. Only the Israelites that are of the elect are going to. Not only them, but let's say this: the Israelites of the elect are going to see that this is a lie. Okay, that this whole left-right paradigm is a lie. You got Israelites that are not of the elect that can see it as well. That's why I had to stop what I was about to say, because you have Israelites that are not of the elect that actually can see it, right? That doesn't make you of the elect, but in order to be of the elect, you have to see that this is a deception. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.